Let me make one thing perfectly clear. We're here to pump the nation.
You are cordially invited to the Scotty B. Pihh Show with Sprigg and Mooks. With your host, Scotty B. Pihh. Listen, I like to listen to Drake's music. I'll listen to Drake if I'm at the crib.
So you be crying yourself to sleep?
Oh, hell no. The CEO, Sprigg.
Okay, what about Lil' Kim then?
I'm definitely stroking.
Really?
Son,
Yeah.
come on, son.
Okay.
You know I'm taking down Lil' Kim. I'm not gay.
No, I know you're not. And Jedi Mooks.
Dude, what are you talking about? Arian Foster's a great pick by the Dolphins. He scored 2 touchdowns today.
Oh my God, Mooks, he's injured.
Oh, my bad.
This is the Scotty B. Pihh Show with Sprigg and Mooks, presented by the Dooch family. Welcome, everybody. It's a great Monday afternoon for the Scotty B. Pihh Show with Sprigg and Mooks. I am Scotty B. Pihh, your host, with my co-hosts, Sprigg.
I am here. I'm just waving to the fans over here to my right real quick. Sorry, I'll take my seat.
Very good. And Jedi Mooks.
What up?
Very
subtle.
awkwardly put, Mooks. Excellent work. And of course, our guest co-host, our correspondent, he will be talking important UFC and WWE stuff later. We got Captain Hype in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a round of applause from me for you, Hype.
Wow.
Wow. I can feel the love. Gentlemen, good morning. To all the listeners, hello. It's an honor and a privilege to be in your headphones or in your car speakers. Thank you so much for having me.
What do we got on the show today, Sprigg?
So, you briefly touched on this. We are going to discuss the big UFC 205 card in Madison Square Garden that just happened over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We got WWE Survivor Series, and of course, we're going to be going to Captain Hype for our direct details on everything that happened over the weekend.
Very good.
D. Wade's return back. I'm sorry, D. Wade's return back to Miami. We have our all fantasy pro teams that we're going to put together this year.
Good. This
But-
for the first half, right?
For the first
Mid-season.
half. For the first half.
Okay.
And now, Mooks, take us away with those headlines.
Let's go. This is Mooks Weekend Headlines. And we're going to...
Did his own intro.
He made his own intro on the fly.
What I need is a Guillermo, like Jimmy Kimmel.
All right,
But,
go ahead, Mooks.
Let's start this off. Everybody knows Dave Chappelle hosted SNL last night. Also, Chris
Saturday,
Rock guest appeared, and Tribe Called Quest performed.
Excellent work. Excellent. It was pretty good, Mooks. I know you catched it. You loved every single second of it.
I loved it. Super funny. And, of course, UFC 205 happened. Conor McGregor became the first MMA fighter to hold multiple titles in UFC. Shout outs to Conor, and congratulations on your new baby.
Yeah, go ahead. Excellent work.
Oh, yeah. And Doctor Strange, if you guys are into movies, he dominated the box office yet again.
Awesome movie.
Oh, yeah.
Great
Dormammu.
movie.
We're here to bargain. And Shia LaBeouf. He was recently, listen to this, guys. Actor Shia LaBeouf from Transformers. He was on Shady 45 with Sway in the Morning. And let me just tell you, he dropped bars.
Dun, dun,
That's
dun.
Dun.
Is that all we got for headlines?
No, not at all. Actually,
We're still going.
talking college football, we got Michigan and Clemson. They both got upset this weekend.
That's pretty crazy.
And my boy Demar Derozan in the NBA dropped 33 big ones. Raptors beat the Knicks 118 to 107.
On a tear.
Yes, he sure is. And before we get into DeMar DeRozan, let's get in quickly into our fantasy football updates. The league so far, we have our Dooch Family Fantasy League. Everybody here is part of the league. Big matchup this weekend between Captain Hype and Scotty B. Dooch. Scotty B. Pihh going on. As we'll see who the winner is, the outcome next week. And I want to talk about our midseason awards for fantasy football. Before we do that, let's all go around the room on the round table. Let's give our opinions on the biggest surprise of the fantasy year so far. I'll go first, and I'm going to say it's got to be David Johnson. He's been terrific. We all thought that he was going to be great. We didn't think he was going to be this great. He's definitely a number 1 overall pick this year. And to be honest, we all know that he can catch the ball out of the backfield, and we know that he can run the ball too. But it's incredible what this guy has been able to do with Carson Palmer not playing up to par, and he definitely, to me, has been the fantasy stud of the year.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to step in here, and I will still say Melvin Gordon is still a huge surprise and an awesome top running back to have. I think he's actually ranked above David Johnson.
In terms of rushing touchdowns?
No, in terms of fantasy football running back. He is ranked number 1 on ESPN.
He does get a lot of rushing touchdowns, though.
He's got a lot of touchdowns this year. I'm pretty sure it's 12, and 2 of those were receiving. But no, definitely my biggest surprise.
All right, Mooks.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say Timothy Brady. This man is the MVP. He's the GOAT, and he hasn't slowed down. It doesn't matter if you suspend him, if you bench him, if you take him to court. I mean, the man makes plays. So, biggest surprise.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the system.
Hype.
It's the system. My surprise has to be Mike Evans from Tampa Bay. Number 1 wide receiver in fantasy football. He's leading in touchdowns as well. This is a guy who most people probably consider maybe in your top 10. But, everyone was probably looking at Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, Odell Beckham. Yeah. And they're all looking up at Mike Evans. I mean, he definitely been on a tear. Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins. Ugh, talk about a rough year.
And that's where we're gonna go. And that's where we're gonna go with next. Let's go with biggest letdown.
Oh no, I'm
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins for me too. Big time.
Big time.
Carolina Panthers defense. It is atrocious.
And I'm gonna go with Todd Gurley, a guy who was picked in top 3 in most leagues and expected to be the Adrian Peterson of this year, and has not done anything. Hasn't scored a touchdown in 6 of the last 8 games, and it's pretty bad. It's I'm not sure, but. Let's go to who we believe. Let's go to the position rankings for us, and let's pick who the best quarterback of fantasy football this year has been so far. I'm going first. I'm not sure this is going to be unanimous, but I'm going with Matty Ice, Matt Ryan.
Well, I like your pick, and that was going to be my pick. I'm going to go with Thomas Brady.
You guys, his name is Thomas Edward Patrick Brady. What's going on with you guys? You guys are giving me
So his name isn't Thomas Brady?
Oh, I heard you say Tommy.
No, I didn't say
I thought his first name was Timothy.
Yeah, he says Timothy.
I thought it was Tomuel.
As long as it ends in Brady, it means Tom Brady.
Mooks?
Okay.
Man, I have to agree with Sprigg on this one, man. Even though he was out 4 games, but the man is throwing darts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, like it's nobody's business.
And Mooks?
He is. But I would have to agree with Scotty. I mean, Matty Ice, Matt Ryan. I mean, the guy has played in every game. I mean, he's giving you multiple 4-touchdown games, threw for over 400 yards in a game. Dude's a monster. Like, he has been on fire. And it's been on the road and at home as well.
Yeah. All right, let's go from hype backwards this time with best running back.
That's tough, but for me, I may be a little biased. I'm just gonna have to say Ezekiel Elliott.
Yep, I knew it.
Listen, everyone thought this kid was a rookie. He's not gonna be good enough. Granted, he does have the perfect situation with the best line in football and Dak Prescott, so they're gonna feed him the ball. He has an excellent backup in Alfred Morris. But he's been a freak of nature, hopping over people, trucking people, running through people, and just eating up carries like it's nothing. So I'm gonna pick Zeke.
More consistent running backs.
He's been consistent.
Well, we already know that the best running back right now has to be David Johnson. But
God, no, don't do it.
If I'm going to go ahead and say second place, I'm going to go ahead and talk about my boy DeMarco.
Oh, okay. He was going somewhere else.
That was a close
we
one.
dodged the bullet.
I thought somebody else was going to come out.
Yeah, we dodged the bullet on that one.
I like the DeMarco.
Sprigg?
No, I'm riding high with Melvin Gordon. Drafted in all my leagues except for the Dooch League. Where I'm riding high on Melvin Gordon, man.
Yeah. And then, of course, I'm going with David Johnson. Best wide receiver, I was going to go with Julio Jones, but I got to agree, man, with hype, especially the last couple of weeks. I'm probably going to go with Mike Evans as best wide receiver so far.
No argument here. Mike Evans. I wanted to say Terrell Pryor so bad, but he had a terrible game on Thursday.
I'm going to go ahead and say Rob Gronkowski.
That's tight end. Come on, Mooks.
Oh my God.
He is to me.
No, it's not to you.
Right.
It's about what you can put in your line.
Go ahead, hype. Hype, go ahead. We don't need to hear it. He said Gronkowski.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans.
All right, best tight end. Let's go from reverse back.
Let's hear it, hype.
Best tight end.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Rob Gronkowski.
And Mooks?
Shocking, to say the least.
Pretty interesting choice, but I'm going to go ahead and say my man Jimmy Graham.
Oh my God!
I knew it.
Stick it.
I knew he was gonna say Jimmy Graham. I knew it.
Sprigg?
I'm going Gronk, man.
That's a 3-1 for Gronk. Best kicker. It's got to be for me. It's got to be for me, Adam Vinatieri.
I like the Adam Vinatieri pick. I'm going to go Matt Bryant.
Mr. Guskowski.
He's missed.
Oh my God. Go hype. Just hurry up and go. Pick your...
I'm gonna be biased here, and I'm gonna stay close to home. Justin Tucker.
That's
nice.
super biased right there. And let's go from back to front. Captain Hype, best defense.
Oh man, this is so tough, Scotty, because at the beginning of the year, everyone would have said Minnesota Vikings. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's tough.
Oh, they have a good defense.
I'm going to just say Minnesota because so far they've probably been one of the best, even though they've kind of slacked off these last couple of weeks. Yeah. Minnesota.
We know where Mooks is going.
Minnesota's okay, but I'm going to go ahead and say the Oakland Raiders.
And
their league-leading 500 penalties. I love it. They're aggressive.
Oh my God.
You're sabotaging the segment, Mooks. Go ahead, Sprigg.
6-2.
I'm gonna go ahead and since I don't have a solid defense in any league, I'm just gonna say Denver.
Yeah. Wrap it up for Denver as well. It's the only defense I trust. So let's talk a little bit about the basketball world, man. We just Mooks just gave you his headline, DeMar DeRozan. We got to talk about if this guy's a superstar. Considering the fact he got a big contract, a lot of people were clowning him for taking this contract, which I don't understand why, because he deserved every penny of it. Considering that we have people like Bradley Beal who got $100 million.
That one I was clowning. That one I clowning.
Bradley Beal, are you talking about the straw man, the guy who's made out of straw?
Yeah,
the scarecrow.
That guy.
The guy who won the lottery.
The lottery might as well have been the lottery, right? Because it didn't take any skill to get that, but. DeMar DeRozan earns every penny of what he's making. He's a superstar, right, guys? I mean, there's no other way around it.
I mean, he's playing nothing short of a superstar at this point. They're winning games. The duo with Kyle Lowry and Valanciunas is actually balling too. Like it's an insane situation in Toronto, and just DeMar is out there just lighting up the scoreboard.
Mooks, is he just hot, or is he really a superstar?
He's the real deal, not Bradley Beal.
And Hype, are you on the hype train as well, or?
Dude, I'm on the hype train. I was probably his biggest critic in the playoffs against the Cavs. I mean, I called him DeBrick DeRozan, but he's been lighting it up though so far this year. He looks unstoppable. He's been going good. I'm on the train.
Yeah, and I just want to go through these numbers: 40, 32, 33, 40, 34, 23, 37, 34, 33. Those are all his scoring outputs for the year. 23 is his lowest.
Those are pretty good numbers for the Powerball. But you know something else?
And he's hit only 3 threes, by the way. I know we were discussing that off air.
Wow.
Total of 3 threes in the stretch since the
Wow.
beginning of the season. Only 3.
That's amazing. That's over 300 points, right? That's like 7th all time in a 9-game stretch. Shout out to ESPN.
Mooks,
It's just impressive.
ESPN stats and info here. Money Mooks. With the
Money Mooks on the money.
Straight flexing.
boss. DeMar DeRozan is having a terrific year. It's obviously the transition of power of team leader has definitely been, turned from Kyle Lowry over to DeMar DeRozan. That Raptors team is pretty improved. If DeMar DeRozan can continue this throughout the year, and this is just not a fluke, they are the Cavaliers' biggest threat in the East. DeMar DeRozan can definitely punish you for 40 a game. But then again, just like Hype just talked about, the playoffs last year, DeMar DeRozan was awfully quiet against the Pacers. He kind of revitalized himself against the Heat in the second round, but he did start the series kind of slow. So we have to see if this is just a regular season thing or if he can, take it through the playoffs. But as of right now, first month in the season in the books, it definitely, DeMar DeRozan is way up there. But speaking on MVP candidates, James Harden continuously doing what he's doing.
My pick for MVP?
And let's get to that right now because I want to see right now what's going on between Mooks and Sprigg because Sprigg chose James Harden this year for the MVP. Mooks chose Russell Westbrook. Right now the clear favorite has to be James Harden. I mean, so Mooks, you have any rebuttal to that because Russell Westbrook is having a good season so far, getting triple doubles, but James Harden is much more efficient right now. I think the only thing you can give Russell Westbrook is the fact that he actually tries to play defense.
I don't know, man, because if you want to look at numbers, I still pick Westbrook.
But Russell Westbrook...
It's still a good choice. No, I mean, we're still early in the season.
Well, they're pretty close, man. They're pretty close. But the fact that Westbrook has been able to carry that team and string out some wins... I mean, what are they, 7-1 right now?
Yeah, but they've had a soft schedule.
6-1? No, man. They got like 3 losses, man.
Yeah, they had a soft schedule to start the season.
They did. They opened their season against the Sixers.
You can say that.
I don't know, but they've lost to good teams. All their losses are coming from good teams: Clippers, Warriors, and can't remember the other loss that they had. But they're top tier teams that they're losing to. They're winning against the middle tier towards the lower tier teams.
I just feel that James Harden. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Are you talking about for MVP?
Yeah, we didn't get to ask you obviously, but these guys selected James Harden and Russell Westbrook for MVP.
No, I mean definitely listening to it. I mean, me and Sprigg kind of talked about it the other day. I think honestly, for me, I mean, with the record, you got to look at the record to me because that's what's going to come down to at the end of the year. I give a slight nod to DeRozan right now because of the way he's improved and he's clearly leading that team. However, because James Harden's in the West, may get a little bit more consideration because that West is going to be packed. But he is balling this year. He's been very efficient, shooting the ball well, sharing the ball. It looks like he was meant to be a point guard all along.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's played a phenomenal job. Excuse me, a phenomenal job at point guard. It's unbelievable how good he's played.
Go ahead and clear that throat, Sprigg.
You stop right now.
Let's get into a quick little topic here. Mooks, I want your reaction off of a very heartbreaking moment last Thursday night. Dwayne Wade's return to Miami. First time in an opposing uniform at the AAA. Your reaction and thoughts as a homer Miami Heat fan.
I bought 2 boxes of Kleenex a week ago. And I said to myself, I'm not going to open them up. It's not going to be that serious. But just watching him coming out the opposing tunnel and, shooting around and watching the fans embrace him, I just couldn't help but get a tear in my eye. I mean, the man did a lot for Miami.
What? Hype, as somebody whose favorite team, obviously that's where the whole Kobe contract came out of. As somebody who had to live through an entire year, obviously, you had the farewell tour for Kobe Bryant, but Dwayne Wade wasn't retiring. So this isn't something where you give Dwayne Wade a Kobe contract of retire, because he's going to retire soon. Got 2 more years. Do you think, seeing what had happened, kind of like the regression of the youngsters last year, obviously they're playing much better this year, and you can obviously tell that they were good. If they would have had last year to do that, they could have possibly taken a big step forward this year. But you see that from from the outside standpoint, do you think that the Miami Heat were right to not give Dwayne Wade this type of contract, considering that he had played a back-to-back game, was in Orlando the night before, played 35 minutes, comes in Thursday night, horrific shooting. I think he was like 5 of 17, 5 of 18. He played bad. That's not somebody that you give that big contract to, right? How do you feel about that?
I think it's 2 different things. I think for one, they could have gave him a little bit of money just because, you paid Whiteside a lot. I understand he's your future, but you need locker room guys, and that's what Wade still could have been. Maybe he couldn't have been, Batman anymore, but he still could have been a great locker room guy to really help these young guys develop. The Miami team is playing pretty well, and you can tell Wade still cares. He even talked about Johnson and Justice Winslow, their development.
Yeah.
So I think they could have tried to work it out. Pat Riley said himself he wishes he would have been more involved in the negotiations to get Wade back. Yeah. I think they definitely missed them. From a basketball standpoint, from scoring, no, he probably wouldn't have been worth that big contract for the money. But from a culture standpoint in your environment, I think it would have been key to have Wade there. And I think everybody wanted to see him retire and play his entire career in a Miami Heat uniform. He became the face. Even when LeBron was there, he was the face of the Miami Heat still.
Yeah. Yeah, and Sprigg, coming from a standpoint of a fan of the team that paid all that money to Dwayne Wade, I know that you're excited to have him on the team, but when you look at a game like that and you can see the wear and tear and the reasons why Pat Riley didn't want to offer that big money, do you feel that was it the right choice to make because you needed to bring the hometown guy back with Derrick Rose leaving? Because this is not going to be a one-time thing. You're going to have Dwayne Wade play these games like this because we've seen it in Miami. How he can kind of, one game he's on, the next game he's off, and that's big money that the Bulls are paying.
Yeah, the caliber player in Dwayne Wade, he's going to have his off nights. Every superstar that's been a superstar in the league or current superstars are going to have their off nights. Pat Riley had to do what he had to do in Miami. That was best for the organization. Chicago did a good thing in signing D. Wade because we lost Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah. So I think both parties did what they have to do. No one expected Dwayne Wade to come out here and drop 25, 30 every night. They know he's going to have his off games, but that's why you have Jimmy Butler, you have Rondo. Even Robin Lopez has actually been playing pretty efficient this year, and you have Taj Gibson who can step up, those guys off the bench, Doug McDermott and whatnot. But that's all expected. I think he's played outstanding this year so far. Yeah. All right. A couple games he could have won, but I don't think he's doing anything short of what he said he was going to do.
It's gonna be the inconsistency off of wear and tear, though. When Dwayne Wade comes to play, Dwayne Wade doesn't play bad because he's just having off nights. It's because he's tired at this point of his career.
That could be it. That could be it too. He's a superstar athlete, so. He's older, obviously, but it's going to happen. He's going to have his off nights. No one's going to be mad at him. Now, if he has a stretch of 10, 15 games where he's just doing terrible, okay, we need to talk about something real quick. But one or two here and there is fine. That's all good.
I have a difference in opinion because you're talking about Wade, who's taking a backseat, to Jimmy Butler's team. So he's not going to be the main guy to count on when the clock is, towards the last seconds. But also the responsibility that he has on making three-pointers. Mm-hmm. You're playing next to Rondo and Butler. There's not that much depth on three-point shooting. And Wade is not the type to just spot up on the corner like Ray Allen did. And I've seen that a lot now in this Bulls system where Wade is just a little bit more laid back. He's sitting by the three. Mm-hmm. And that's something that he's getting used to. I think that, once that team, gets a little more chemistry, they start gelling a little bit better. I think you're going to start seeing Wade's production go up because it's not easy playing with somebody like Rondo, and then, of course, Butler is the main guy. He's the guy who's going to take the shots, and he even acknowledged it. He said, listen, I'm here to support Jimmy. Jimmy's the guy that's going to, take us to the promised land. So, but I see Wade. I don't think he's tired. I think he just needs to get well adjusted, and it's also his first year, so nobody's expecting him to jump 20
He's
again.
very humble, and he knows the deal. But we see that in a lot of older superstars. They just start settling for more threes. We saw it in Vince Carter.
Yep.
All right, Vince Carter was a superstar. That was a slasher dunker. Even though he wasn't a superstar, but Jason Richardson was one of those other ones, a slasher dunker. They just turned into just chucking threes all day. I don't feel like Dwayne Wade is chucking threes, but he's more comfortable shooting the shot, and I'm okay with that because he knows he doesn't have what it takes every single drive of the game to go to the basket every time.
Yeah, well, either or. I mean, it's great to see Dwayne Wade continuously find the fountain of youth to be able to play well. When we get back, we're gonna get into our guest correspondent, Captain Hype. We're gonna talk UFC and WWE pay-per-view, and we will figure out whether or not Mooks has done his research on any UFC topics. He will be
buddy.
He will be joining us for our guest interview. No, I didn't say. I haven't finished the segment yet, Mooks. So yes, go ahead and take us to break.
Yeah, buddy.
Welcome back to the Scotty B. Pihh Show. We got a special guest correspondent, Sprigg. Let the audience know who's here with us today.
We have the magnificent, the stupendous, the marvelous.
Drum roll, please.
Hizzy in the Pizzy, Captain Hype.
God, that was so weak, Sprigg. Captain Hype is here, the legendary Captain Hype.
Wow. First off, thank you so much for the introduction. I mean, I'm slurring my words. I can't even breathe. I mean, whenever someone like Spriggs talks about you like that, I mean,
no. Apparently
it changes
weak.
your life.
It was weak.
I
thought it was nice. I know my toes were curled when I was talking.
I've never been called marvelous. That's a first for me.
Those are the words that come to mind when we all talk about hype. So
that was greatly put, Sprigg. Appreciate it.
I don't know about y'all, but with this serenade, I just got hit in the face with some bra and panties.
Oh, that tends to happen when hype's around.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Well, Captain Hype is here with us today as our special WWE UFC correspondent. We'll have him here whenever we got big pay-per-views. We do got one coming up November 20th. WWE Survivor Series. It's big. Goldberg's return. We also got UFC 205. That was a big pay-per-view from last night. Hype, I want you to talk to me a little bit about the reaction coming into the card for 205. People were talking about how great this card was, and it did live up to the bill, didn't it?
Yeah, it definitely lived up to the hype. Going into this card, everyone was calling this the greatest card of all time, or the GOAT card for mixed martial arts. And when you look at Madison Square Garden, obviously the main event, Conor McGregor, Eddie Alvarez, chance at history for Conor, that's already magnificent in itself. But then you had two more title fights. You had the strawweight title with Johanna and Carolina. Then you also had Woodley versus Wonder Boy. Then on top of that, you had Weidman versus Romero, basically for a title shot. I mean, just an insane card. And then you also had Miesha Tate versus Pennington as well. Just a deep, deep card, man. I mean, and you think Donald Cerrone versus Gastelum, that got nixed off the card as of, I think it was Thursday or Friday. So, I mean, we would have had an additional fight on top of that as well. But a great, great card. Lots of action and a lot of excitement last night.
I was watching the prelims as well. That Frankie Edgar versus Jeremy Stevens fight should have been on the main card the way it played out as well. It was a good fight. What was your takeaway from it? What was the best fight of the night for you?
Best fight of the night. I watched the prelims as well, and that fight was amazing. But I have to give it to Wonder Boy and Woodley. It was a true chess match, as you say, just a contrast in styles. Woodley is more of a wrestler, a grappler, but has a really strong hand power, especially with overhand rights. And then Woodley, really coming into this fight is a new champion, which a lot of people thought maybe he got lucky against Lawler. But then you had Wonder Boy, who was just an anomaly on his own. I mean, he can hit you from different angles. Very awkward stance. I know you guys were watching the fight. Odd stance, hands down. His chin is up, which is really, that's bad in mixed martial arts, but it works for him because he's so dangerous in the striking game. But those guys went at it last night. I mean, in the fourth round, just to skip rounds, but in the fourth round, Woodley was dropping bombs.
Yeah,
I mean, basically knocked out Wonder Boy, and then had him in a guillotine, looking like he was gonna rip his head
he got
off.
hurt pretty bad.
Yeah, and he got out of it, and then kept fighting and finished the fight. He gained a lot of respect. Crazy that ended up being a draw. I actually had the fight to Wonder Boy 3 rounds to 2. I just felt like I watched the fight again, and I just feel like in rounds 2, 3, and then in 5, he was really good. And then the end of round 4, right? Mm-hmm. If you score that, you couldn't score that round 10-8 to Woodley, to me, because Wonder Boy got out of the guillotine, and then for the last 45 seconds of the round was on top of Woodley, and he was actually doing a lot of ground and pound. But they're going to fight again, and that fight was just incredible to watch, though. Hats off to both those guys.
Definitely. The Yoel Romero fight, man, he knocked out Chris Weidman bad. That flying knee was unbelievable. It probably might have been the best move of the night for me.
Oh, easily. I mean, he had Chris Weidman leaking blood. Like, you remember those, like, cheesy horror movies from, like, the 90s where, like, people get slashed and there's just blood everywhere? Like, Jason slashes a teenager's chest and blood just paints everywhere, right? Like, that's how it was when that knee hit last night. Yeah. Oh, my God.
I call this man Freddy Krueger.
That's the second loss in a row for Weidman, isn't it?
Yeah. Second loss in a row. Both by knockout.
Yeah, because I know I can't remember who he fought his last fight, but I know we were actually watching that fight, and
his
Luke streak that he was on.
Yeah, Luke Rockhold.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a tough.
He's out here dropping L's now. It's 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Took a nasty cut to the skull. That's, man, for you to cut a man's skull, it takes a lot of power.
In the interviews afterwards, I think he stated that he broke the stitch record for most stitches last night. So the side of his head. I mean, he seemed to be in pretty good spirits, but
I counted 38 by the first round.
38.
just on the first round.
No, I didn't see that. I want to see pictures.
I haven't gotten the reaction from Sprigg or Mooks either, but Miesha Tate abruptly retiring was pretty. I mean, was it surprising to you guys? Or I mean, I honestly feel that once she lost to Amanda Nunes, her career was pretty much on the down trail. What do you think?
Well, I'm gonna tell you with my UFC-ness, okay?
Oh yeah, with massive.
I'm a casual watcher of UFC. Okay, I'll watch it when my boys watch it. So I'm not going to claim the fame that I know everything about UFC. Okay, but I know about this Miesha Tate chick. Okay, I've watched like 5 or 6 UFCs, and I don't know how long. And I swear, every time she's on there, she loses. I've never seen her win. Okay, and then I just look at her record, and she's 18-7. Where the hell were the 18 wins from? I know one was from Holly Holm. I know that one. I didn't watch that fight. I've never seen her win. She needed to retire.
Yeah, I heard she got those fights in Mexico. They shouldn't even count, but
no, because it looks like she breaks her nose gets broke every fight that I've watched.
So I know she did win. She had a couple of big wins in a row after she lost to Ronda Rousey a few years ago, and some of her wins are from WEC or Strikeforce, I believe, when she was. Mm-hmm. She was battling for that bantamweight title, too, because she's a former champion there. So she did rip off a couple wins in a row. Look, I actually went to UFC, before 200. I think it was 197 is what I attended. McGregor versus Diaz won. No, it was not backstage. But going into that fight against Holly Holm, like everyone thought that was going to be Miesha's last fight. Because this was kind of the end of the road, her last chance to get a title. She'd already had a title shot before against Rousey and got destroyed. Yeah. And she had won that fight. So then from there, it's like that gave her a rebirth, new life, right? Mm-hmm. But then just like Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat, Amanda Nunes snatched her soul so quick at UFC 200.
That fight I saw.
Look, I saw it. Like, I saw it. Sprigg, you were sitting at my house, and I said, she looks like she doesn't want to fight anymore.
No, I don't even know if she didn't want to fight or was Amanda Nunes just beating the crap out of her that bad. It was not even close.
It was not even close.
So bad.
Yeah. I mean, and you saw it last night. I mean, she was standing there just getting jabbed in the face. She looked like she did not want to be in the cage. I remember at one point, I think in the 5th round, it's the 5th round, you know you're losing the fight. You got to go balls to the wall, go for broke, right? She was looking up at the clock, trying to figure out how much time was left. I was like, she's done.
Yeah, I didn't even know they had a clock in there that they can look at, but I just remember her face. You know, like I've talked to you about this. Like everyone has this real stern face when they come into the octagon, and then 20 seconds later they're getting their ass kicked, and it is so funny to me. And that was her against Amanda Nunes. That was definitely her.
Her greatest highlight by far was beating Ronda Rousey. After that, she just got completely drained, and I don't blame her, because no matter how many fights she wins after that, it's always going to go back to the upset that she pulled on Rousey. So, tip off to her.
Are you talking about Holly Holm?
You're talking about Holly Holm. We were talking about Miesha Tate.
I'm talking about Miesha Tate.
Miesha Tate didn't beat Holly Holmes.
Never beat her. Or
She
Miesha
never beat
Tate
Holly
never.
Holm.
Or she beat Holly Holm. She never beat Ronda
Holly
Rousey.
Holmes, yes. You said Rousey.
Yeah.
Well, this is why Mooks is our expert, of course.
Yeah.
Mooks, any reaction towards the
Wow,
retirement?
I'm surprised the casual fan knew more than Mooks then.
Well, she retired. That's the bottom line. So
She retired.
It's her time.
Excellent contribution by Mooks. Let's go on to the big fight of the night. The Conor McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez fight. Everybody was anticipating it.
Okay. Listen, all right? If you follow me on Twitter, around 11 a.m. on Saturday, I tweeted out a picture of me playing UFC 2 using a left-hand bomb from Conor McGregor knocking out Eddie Alvarez, and I said, who's ready to see this tonight? And I had no retweets, no likes. I predicted it from the beginning. Listen, Conor McGregor is not the most talented mixed martial artist. He's not. He's not the fastest. He's not the strongest. But you know what he does? He wears on you with the experience. Okay? He makes you get out of your game plan. Eddie Alvarez is a wrestler. He is a dog fighter. His plan was to grind him up against the cage, take him down to the ground, smother him, press him. But you know what? Conor talked all that shit the whole entire time on the build-up to the fight. He had Eddie Alvarez so flustered that he was like, you know what? I'm going to go in there and I'm going to knock Conor out. And he underestimated Conor's power. And then you could just see it on his face. When Conor hit him with that first left-hand shot and dropped him, he looked like he had been brought into a new reality, a new world. And he was like, I'm in trouble. And from there, Conor just picked him apart.
There was no denying either. He kept hitting him with that left hand. It was open season.
Open season. Look, think about this, Scotty. This guy has won 2 titles now. And in both those title fights, he's taken minimum damage. Knocked out Jose Aldo in 13 seconds. Second round KO from Eddie Alvarez. I think Eddie Alvarez only had 10 significant strikes in the fight. And he only hit Conor in the face, I think, 1 or 2 times. Just... crazy. He outclassed him. I mean,
for the guy that was talking the most noise at the press conference for once, it wasn't Conor.
Yeah, it really wasn't. But Conor went in there and he took care of business, and now he's a 2-time world champion. He's a legend, and I think this is just what's going to happen. I think Nate Diaz is the only person to me that really doesn't care about the media and the hype and the experience.
That's because he doesn't know how to talk.
That's probably so. But when you fight McGregor, like McGregor told Alvarez and he's told all these other people, it's a different world. It's a new experience. You literally are millions of people are watching you. And Eddie looked a little nervous. And, I mean, that's all she wrote. I mean, what did you guys think? Were you guys impressed?
I just knew Conor was going to win. I couldn't wait to see it. That was the whole thing. I just keep remembering the press conference when he randomly started blurping out how he was the strongest and he was the best. And we joke about this all the time, how Conor looked to his left, Conor looked to his right, Conor looked to his left, and said, "Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is that?" That's all you kept hearing. That was just the funniest moment in UFC for me. But it's just Conor's at the top of his game at this point, and it's just, I mean, he tells people every week, every month, before every fight, how he's the best, how he trains to be the best. He trains to be fast. He trains to beat his opponents and stuff. And a lot of people take that as age. He's talking. He's real arrogant and stuff. But obviously, he's proving his points thoroughly by taking everybody down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sadly, I wasn't impressed at all. The man can fight. Yeah, the man can fight. The man whoops ass.
Typical Mooks here, guys.
I predicted that he was gonna win.
Oh, predicted.
Oh,
They should have just done a third fight with Diaz. I don't see the point of him fighting anybody else. But I would pay to see him and Mayweather. I think that's gonna boost up some sales. That would be awesome.
And what type of fight though, Mooks? A boxing fight or a mixed martial arts fight?
I say keep it at boxing because the way that McGregor's moving, and yesterday he won off a strike, so I definitely like to see him land a few of those strikes on Mayweather to see if he could. It'd
probably be the most competitive match, obviously, out of both of them. I will say this before we move on to WWE. You can say what you want about Conor McGregor. His mic skills are phenomenal. I mean, the guy can definitely be in the WWE, which we'll get into next. But most importantly, what McGregor has that Chael Sonnen didn't have, because Chael Sonnen was considered the baddest trash talker, right, Hype? You know, the last 5 or 6 years before he retired. McGregor is better than Chael Sonnen is, so he backs up his words. You know, he took that loss to Nate Diaz, but he came back and he went brutal rounds with him. He showed that he proved himself that he can fight an entire fight. He knocks out Eddie Alvarez. I cannot wait to see if he fights Tyron Woodley for the welterweight title. If he moves up and goes after the welterweight title, if this man can get a third title, I mean, obviously he has to defend. I'm guessing he would defend the featherweight title against who?
It's either gonna be Max Holloway, because Max Holloway is actually fighting Anthony Pettis next month on a pay-per-view, and the winner of that should get the shot if Jose Aldo does not want to fight again, because it looks like he wants to stay retired. He doesn't want to fight again.
He needs to defend his title. He has
just a bunch of bums.
Yeah. But he has to defend his title, and if he can get some title defenses under his belt and start marking up that win-loss ratio, people will see him as one of the greatest. The thing is that a lot of people, the first thing when they talk about McGregor hype, you know what it is he doesn't defend his titles. He's given all these opportunities to take the titles, but he doesn't have to fight for them or whatever. Yeah. But
Scotty, before we move on, can I say one thing? 3 different
weight classes, slapping up everybody.
He literally fought in 3 different weight classes this year alone. How crazy is that? Can I say one thing, Scotty? One thing about. I just want to say one thing. So I understand people that are MMA purists or UFC purists that believe that only #1 contenders should fight for titles. I completely understand that argument, right? But however, I ask these people to look at it from a business perspective. Last night would have not been $17.7 million gate, and it wouldn't have been the biggest all-time grossing pay-per-view in UFC history if Conor McGregor's not on that card. If Eddie Alvarez was fighting Khabib or Tony Ferguson last night, it's okay, but no offense to those guys, it's probably going to be on Fox Sports 1, or that title is not main eventing. It would have been Woodley versus Wonderboy, and it still wouldn't have been as big. The UFC is in a business to make money, people, and Conor McGregor is money. Casual people, watch the guy, period.
Pay the man. That's it. Just pay the man. Give him his cut.
I think Khabib is worthy of a title shot, but I'm not sure if he'll get it. But anyways, Mooks, what do you got here for us? We got the WWE Survivor Series coming up next weekend, Sunday night pay-per-view on WWE Network. What does the main card look like, Mooks?
Well, there's a lot of good fights coming up for Survivor Series, but if everybody is just like me, which I'm sure they are, we can all agree that the main focus is Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
I don't know how that's going to play out, because Goldberg is he's kept himself up in shape after 30 odd years, I would say, and
it's been,
Brock Lesnar's juicing. Brock Lesnar's juicing up to the max, so. It's going to be a super fight. The WWE needed this. I think that with everything going on with UFC, my opinion, WWE has gotten a little bit soft. So, yeah, it's going to be a really good matchup.
They fought back in 2004. Correct me if I'm wrong, Hype. But it was a horrific match. Probably goes down as one of the worst matches of all time. A lot of stiffness in the ring. It was basically 2 brute forces trying to bring each other down. It was 15, correct me if I'm wrong, like 15 or 20 minutes of just trying to knock each other down, and they couldn't. And so hopefully this time around, Brock Lesnar can carry Goldberg through the match. We know he's a little bit older. Mooks is right. He has been able to keep himself in shape, but when you're fighting in the ring, it's not the same as lifting weights. You have to have the stamina and the fatigue to be able to fight. I'm looking forward to the fight only as a childhood fan of Goldberg, just like the rest of us. You know, it's good that the WWE.
Yeah, who wasn't a fan of Goldberg?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, Goldberg was the man.
Sting.
Yeah, his goatee's still thick.
Yeah, so
it's the same. He got a little gray.
also,
You think? Do you think he's gonna dye his goatee before he gets back?
I think he'll leave it white.
Is he coming hype? Is he coming out with the trunks or the short shorts? What do you think?
He's got to come out with the underwear.
Yeah,
black underwear, black elbow pads, the gloves, the knees.
Yeah, he's probably
pads,
sitting in his steam room right now until Survivor Series starts.
I mean, for all that money he's gonna make, he should just go in there butt naked.
Okay, no, absolutely not. Where's the pause button at?
Whoa! Pause.
Whoa.
I feel like Chris Webber right now trying to call a timeout.
Okay, we're done with Mooks for like the next 2 minutes
in all
right now.
seriousness,
he wants men to come in with no underwear.
Yeah, go ahead, Hype.
Yeah, Mooks. The no underwear thing that just comes out of nowhere. Like I'd rather see a bra and panties match for the Team Raw women's.
That's never gonna happen again.
Matches.
But
that will happen now.
I'm just saying, from the money standpoint, with all the money that he's gonna make off this fight, being a 60-year-old man, I will go in there butt naked and fight.
No, he's not 60.
But nobody wants to see him butt naked. That's the problem.
Anyways,
why are we still talking about that?
Hype,
Move on.
What are you looking forward to? Is the Brock Lesnar Goldberg fight the fight? I mean, I know that you're excited about this Raw versus SmackDown 5-on-5.
I'm excited about that one.
Yes, and let's go ahead and talk about my favorite part of.
For 2 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just playing. I'm just joking.
Well, I was just gonna say a few names here. We're gonna talk about Nia Jax. We're gonna talk about Nikki Bella. Okay, that's
the women's tag team.
Yes,
I like.
Yes.
Hype, what do you got for us on that? Do you think it's gonna steal the spotlight from the men's 5v5?
Listen, I think the women have an opportunity here to really put on a show. I just hope they get the time, probably 15 or probably 20 to 30 minute match. Look, the people here to me that should be highlighted. There is a female superstar in the making on SmackDown. I don't know if you guys watch SmackDown, but she really needs a push, and that is Naomi. She is so athletic. She's quick. I love her entrance. It's very crowd engaging, and I really look for her to get a couple of good highlight spots. She's the first woman to do a jump on the rope, like springboard dive on the outside. She did that 2 pay-per-views ago at No Mercy. First woman to do that in WWE. She's really athletic. Her mic skills are not really there, but I really hope her being the only African American woman on SmackDown, she really can get her some shine here. But I really look for SmackDown to win. I feel like they need to win this match just for their brand to make them look strong. But Charlotte is the best right now, other than Sasha Banks. So Charlotte's going to have her moments. Bayley's good. Nia Jax
has the bloodline.
Cool. Yeah, she does. Lil B,
she has the
as
broad
you called
shoulders.
And Becky Lynch is going to be good too. I think this match is going to be really, really good. The only thing I fear is that Nia Jax is very green in wrestling terms, as they say in the ring. She can't really put together a complete match, so they're really going to need to put her in spots to be successful. And I don't think Nia Jax will be pinned. I'll give you that prediction right now. They're booking her as a monster, so to speak, so she will not be pinned. She will either be counted out or she will be disqualified and eliminated from Team Raw. Or she will just snap on someone and leave. She will not be pinned by anybody. Yeah, she won't.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about the men's 5v5. I'm looking forward to the women's as well, but that's exactly what I was going to ask you. There is a lot of opportunity here for somebody from each team to turn on somebody from their own team, right? We're talking about 2001 Survivor Series. Chris Jericho turns on The Rock. We're talking about a teammate, over egotistical, gets upset, doesn't like he got pinned, doesn't like they took his pin, comes out, and it's a lot of animosity on both sides, right? You got Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins fighting together, and with this new little duo of Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, which I we talked about earlier. Yes, it's
the list.
They have a good.
Of
So,
Jericho.
how do you see that playing out? Is somebody going to turn on somebody else and lose Survivor Series?
All right, so 2 predictions that I have for you here. So 1, on Team Raw, similar to Nia Jax, Braun Strowman is going to beat the holy hell out of Dean Ambrose at some point in this match. And then he will be tagged by Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns, and he will not appreciate that tag. And he will then hit either Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns. We will see a Shield reunion for a couple of seconds.
Very nice.
And those 3 are going to powerbomb Braun Strowman through the table, and he'll be eliminated. I guarantee. I feel like that is something that has to happen.
I feel like you don't think this is going to happen. This is more inside scoop to the writers.
No. I just, look, if I could, I would be a writer, and I just feel like that's just something that just needs to happen. They've talked a lot about the Shield the last couple weeks.
I just feel like I'm going to watch it, and everything that you said is going to happen exactly.
Hey,
so.
If it is, then WWE needs to give me a call. Your boy's available.
Alert for the first year show.
And then also,
I add Vince right now.
Hey, let's get Vince on the show.
No, I said I'm going to at him on Twitter. I can't. I don't have his personal math.
And what's the second one?
I look for Randy Orton to betray Bray Wyatt. I know he's rolling with Bray Wyatt right now on SmackDown. I look for him to turn on Bray Wyatt, maybe RKO him, and I think that would be interesting. However, I just want everyone in here to know that if you're watching Survivor Series and you're watching this match, you're going to get hyped when Kevin Owens and AJ Styles get in the ring at the same time. It's going to be incredible. Those guys are probably going to have a few minutes to work together. They fought in New Japan.
An indie thing, right? Independent wrestling
2
circuit.
big indie guys. Yeah, who are both champions. Kevin Owens was Kevin Steen. AJ Styles has always been AJ Styles, but those 2 they're 2 indie darlings, as they say, and they're both champions. They're definitely going to battle it out for a few minutes, and that will be worth to watch as well, too.
Now, is there a specific reason for Shane McMahon being part of the team, or is it some type of 15-year nod to him being in the original elimination tag team?
It's name power. It's name power. The same way with Brock Lesnar Goldberg. Survivor Series is one of the big 3 pay-per-views that WWE, or big 4, I'm sorry, that they call them every year, with WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series. So it's just a name thing. They want, casual people who don't watch, they'll watch when they see Shane McMahon is fighting again. So,
Mooks, what anything else on the card, Mooks, that you want to ask Hype about?
Well, I had a question about Natalya because she's going to be a referee for the women's match. And, WWE has a lot of trust issues. You've already mentioned that there's going to be betrayals with Randy Orton. But
absolutely,
I personally feel, this is going to be a complete plot twist. I think that Natalya is going to rig the fight. And it's just going to be like, I don't know. That's just my take on it because everybody has overlooked the fact that she's going to be refereeing the whole match.
No, she's coaching the team.
Because Dana Brooke is the coach on Raw, right?
So they have coaches. I don't know. I just read here that there's coaches. You're the one that needs to tell us.
She's gonna. Yeah. You're right.
They're gonna be coaching. I can see Natalya definitely costing someone the match.
Is there somebody on the team that she has problems with at the moment?
She's had a little bit of beef with Becky Lynch in the past. They had
Becky Lynch.
She's
the current women's champion on SmackDown, right?
Yes.
There's gonna be some revelations. There's gonna be some bad blood in that match.
There will. Quickly, one match that will steal the show: Dolph Ziggler, Sami Zayn, guaranteed.
I knew he was gonna say something about Dolph Ziggler.
Listen, Dolph Ziggler and Sami Zayn are 2 of the best wrestlers in the world today. Sami Zayn he's been involved in 3 matches that are match of the year candidates so far this year. This match is going to be awesome. I see Sami Zayn beating Dolph Ziggler, and then in a crazy move, which is I'll give a nod to Andreas Hale, who made this prediction too. I think Zayn will stay on SmackDown. Since Stephanie said she can't stand him, she hates him. I think Zayn wins, and then he
takes
stays
the
on
title
SmackDown.
And stays in.
Yeah,
like that.
I think that'd be huge.
We're definitely gonna get Hype back in here next week or the week after to talk about reactions on that. Any last thoughts, Mooks, on anything else you want to ask Hype about this? Or excellent work, Mooks and Sprigg. What do you got for me?
No, I think Hype pretty much covered everything, answered all 16 of my questions that I did have for him.
That's a lie, but Sprigg, anytime I can answer anything.
Let's
Hashtag Team Goldberg.
Let's finish off this segment with Hype by giving him the rapid fire questions. Sprigg and Mooks, you guys go back and forth asking him. And
wait a minute. Rapid fire questions.
I like this.
Mm-hmm. Question number 1.
What are you talking about? What rapid fire questions?
Rapid fire questions. The rapid fire questions for Captain Hype, the boss.
I'll start off with the first one.
Am I pulling these off the dome?
Well, go ahead, Mooks. You start the first one, then Sprigg can get the second one.
Okay. All right, sounds cool. Sounds cool. So, Mr. Hype, burger or hot dog?
That's not the first question, Mooks. What the hell is going on here? Oh my god!
It's rapid fire.
Yeah, it's rapid fire in order. Come on, Mooks, get it together.
You don't know where the bullet's gonna fly.
Come on.
Fine, I'll go with the first one. If you could only watch one, would you choose a UFC event or a WWE event?
Oh, that's tough. Is Connor on the UFC event?
Connor's on the UFC, Hulk Hogan's on the WWE, and versus The Rock.
The two top of the top.
And
Stone Cold Steve Austin's supposed to make an appearance.
Oh!
Yeah.
I'm going WWE.
All right, then. Go ahead, Sprigg.
Right. Hype, your dream job is...
Already has it.
Oh, dream job, hands down, on-air personality for WWE and creative writer as well.
I couldn't tell.
Awesome. And my original question, burger or hot dog at a cookout?
What the hell kind of question?
Most definitely burger.
Some people like their chili dogs. All right, next.
Which WWE superstar do you most relate yourself to?
Ooh, that's a good question. Wow, which WWE superstar? If I had to pick, if I had to pick, I'd probably go Xavier Woods from the New Day. We both like video games, both love comics. We both like to dress up on Halloween, crazy costumes.
You guys
sound like best buds.
All right, Mooks, let me take number 5 because I had to reword this. As a fan of one of the most historic teams in NBA history, which season do you wish you could either relive or travel back in time to watch in your team's history, which is obviously the Lakers?
Hype's a Laker fan, by the way, guys.
Yeah, Team Lakers all day. I'm definitely going back to Kobe's first ring with Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, I thought you were gonna spew us away and say Magic Johnson. I was gonna.
No, not Magic. Either that or being able to watch the 2000 squad as well too. But probably Kobe's first ring, the year they beat
Johnson
Portland.
Just tweeted about his first season being over in Lakers, so you know how delayed he is with his tweets.
So Kobe Bryant's first ring.
Yeah, that season was Shaq. That's the year that he threw the lob, against Portland after crossing up Scottie Pippen. Like I would want to watch that season because it started out pretty rough. Yeah. It didn't go well, but that team kind of gelled together at the end of the year. So yeah, I'll watch that season.
Sprigg number 6.
All right, the city or country you wished you lived in other than your current home.
Ooh, city would probably be Los Angeles. Country would probably be that's tough. England. I would love to live in England.
Very good.
You know what? No one says Brazil ever.
No.
Mooks number 7.
No.
All right, Mr. Hype. Who is your favorite movie star?
Oh, hands down, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Very good. Sprigg number 8.
All right. Your favorite sports moment witnessed in person or in TV or on TV?
I already know what this is going.
I'm gonna go in person, and I'm going to say Kobe. I'm going to say Kobe Bryant's final game in Washington D.C. Basically hitting the game winner over Bradley Beal. It is his. He scored the second highest points that season, other than the 60-point game. So yeah, watching Kobe turn back the clock like that and get a win on the road was huge to watch in person.
Turn back the clock like Doctor Strange.
Mooks number 9.
Bradley. Number 9. Do Twitter eggs annoy you?
Yes, I hate Twitter eggs. Get a picture. It's 2016. Get a picture, please.
And number 10.
Your WWE Mount Rushmore.
Ooh. Woo. All right, so there's 4 people on Mount Rushmore, correct?
Yes,
There
absolutely.
All right, so my personal favorite wrestler of all time, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, has to be on there for me.
Mm-hmm.
Not against that choice.
Excellent.
Second is probably going to surprise a lot of people. I'm actually going to put The Rock.
That's not surprising.
That's gonna surprise. That's not surprising.
Yo, there are a lot of people out there who don't think The Rock was a great wrestler, but he was a great entertainer.
Oh.
And I don't think so. I think The Rock was a great wrestler. The fact that he's come back, wrestled John Cena, wrestled CM Punk, The Rock has showed me he's one of the greatest of all time. So I'll put The Rock up there.
You won't hear anything from me. I like that pick.
I appreciate that. Last 2 spots. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Revolutionizing with The Rock, the Attitude Era, hands down. Like those two, that rivalry was one of the greatest of all time. And lastly, and I have one honorable mention, but
Yes.
lastly, this spot is very surprising, but this person has really come on strong lately. Chris Jericho.
Oh,
I like that.
whoa.
Chris Jericho. I mean, this guy is still around, putting
Yeah,
on
he's
great
65 years old,
matches.
still around.
He's hilarious. He's the best part of Monday Night Raw right now.
Yeah.
And if you look at his history being a cruiserweight in WCW, then coming over to WWE, changing his style, the first undisputed champion, he beat The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night.
Yeah.
I'm putting him up there. And my honorable mention for legacy and for carrying the torch, so to speak, in the beginning is Hulk Hogan. He's an honorable mention for me.
Nice.
But he's not on there because of all the N-word scandal that happened last year.
We know Hulk Hogan is not a racist, but anyways,
It happens.
we appreciate
Booker
our
T called him
correspondent.
the
Yeah, there you go. Excellent work, Mooks. Our correspondent, Captain Hype, WWE UFC. We're gonna have him on guest co-host once in a while, whenever he can. He's a very busy man, but we
We'll have
appreciate
more
it.
before events, before and after events. Yeah.
Huge. First off, I just got to say, Scotty, Mooks, Sprigg, thank you so much for the opportunity of being here today. It's an honor and a privilege. Great show. I love it. I'm a huge fan. I listen every week. So thank you for the opportunity and the time out of your guys' schedule. Thank you so much.
Oh, please. The pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much for thanking me and thanking you.
Anytime, brother.
It is a pleasure and a privilege, but most importantly, it has been an honor. We'll be back with the Belittled Wheel results and the week. We skipped a week last week, so we're going to go ahead and do week 4 this week when we get back.